Welcome back to the Lawless Sports Podcast. I am back as your host, Casey Lawless, and we are back with a very special guest. His name is Josh Sloan, a Temple Junior finance major with a legal studies minor. Josh, how you doing today?
What's up, Casey? I'm doing well. How are you, bro?
Bro, I'm fantastic. Super excited for today.
For sure.
Sunday, football, all going to be good, but we have a few topics that we're about to get into. And sadly, our first topic is our beloved Philadelphia Eagles. Why have they struggled in 2020?
Oh my gosh, man. Dude, there's so many things that we could talk about right now, yo. It's not even funny, to be honest. But, you know.
So, in my opinion, I think the simple answer is the lack of the run game. You look back to that 2017 season. You look at LeGarrette Blount, people forget about him. You forget about Jay Ajayi, people forget about him. Guys like that relieve so much pressure off of the quarterback, and it especially helps that offensive line. Offensive linemen hate when you pass the ball 50 times a game because you have to hold on to that ball so long and they have to stay steady for so long. Yeah. But when you have a guy like Miles Sanders, he had 20-plus touches last week.
Yeah.
He had over 90 rushing yards. When we fed him the ball, he looked great. He had a touchdown. And then in the third quarter, we take it out of his hands. How do you think Carson Wentz feels about when they're constantly depending on him and he has to play hero ball?
Yeah. I think it's a matter of the way that Doug is coaching, because I think Carson, you can see, like, even in the Washington game, he started off really well. Carson, he looked confident. He was throwing the ball down the field, getting completions, that deep ball to Rager, like, great connection. Even, like, honestly, throughout the first two games, the run game hasn't been what we need it to be to win football games.
Absolutely. And do you think that has anything to do with the elimination of Jordan Howard in the offseason?
I do think so. I think that, well, first of all, week one, not having Miles Sanders really hurt because we were relying on Boston Scott. We saw a lot out of Boston Scott coming off the bench, coming in third down, but we can't rely on him as a running back one.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the loss of Jordan Howard is definitely an impact on the first series.
Here's my gripe with that, because when we brought in Jordan Howard for a bag of chips and a nickel, I was so happy.
Right.
Because Howie Roseman just, of course, finagling his way to get the top three rusher of the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Minus last year. It went Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley, and Jordan Howard.
Right.
People don't realize how good Jordan Howard was as a bell cow running back, giving the ball every down, 3 downs. When we played the Green Bay Packers last year, we were an underdog. I believe it was we were an underdog, I think -9.
Something like that.
They were supposed to absolutely destroy us.
Yeah.
Jordan Howard gets a quiet 95 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And Carson Wentz looked phenomenal because he doesn't have to throw the ball 40 times a game. And when you have a running back that can just pound away at a defense, that's going to make your defense play better on the back end, because when you run in the ball, that takes up time of possession.
Right.
And when that defense stays fresh, when they finally get back on the field, they're going to explode. They're going to play great.
Right.
But when you're constantly throwing the ball first, second, and third down, giving the ball back to the opposing offense, your defense is going to get tired.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
It's not even a conversation. It's just how the game of football works.
Right.
And when you have that combination of thunder and lightning, because finally, Miles Sanders at the start of his rookie year was okay. You know what I mean? He's a rookie running back trying to find his groove. But from week 8 to week 17, Miles Sanders looked like, he could be the real deal.
Yeah.
And him and Jordan Howard could be a dynamic duo, kind of like thunder and lightning.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Jordan Howard wanted a 3-year extension, and the Philadelphia Eagles just didn't want to do it, and they gave him away to the Miami Dolphins, and he's kind of dying in Miami, where people like to go to retire.
Yeah, exactly.
But now we have to kind of depend on a Miles Sanders style running back, and I like him a lot. You know what I mean? He kind of reminds me a little bit of Kamara, but Kamara, is a little stronger, can get through tackles and stuff. Sanders is kind of more of a scat back.
Yeah.
Kind of like an upgraded Darren Sproles, if you will. You know what I mean? Kind of like pass catch. You know what I mean? He can kind of run through the tackles, but not somebody, in my opinion, who I want to depend on every down. Or do you disagree?
No, I agree. The good thing about having a guy like Howard, or a couple years ago when we won the Super Bowl, like Ajayi or Blount, we had, those are big guys that if we need 2 or 3 yards, push the pile forward, get a first down, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, we can give it to them.
Absolutely.
But now that we have Miles Sanders, he's a great receiving back, he's a great back, I'm so glad that we have him. In a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2 situation, Doug is more like vulnerable in that situation, I think, because he's like, oh shoot, I don't have a running back, like a big running back to rely on. So he's like, oh wait, I gotta throw the ball, and so he throws the ball on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. Why? Like yeah, Miles Sanders can get a couple of yards, but like giving away Jordan Howard to like bigger guys that can push the power forward, it definitely is a loss. You know?
Yeah, it didn't even make sense to me that LeGarrette Blount, after he won that Super Bowl in Philadelphia, he said, I don't want to play for. I
got a jersey. I got a LeGarrette Blount jersey that season, man.
He straight up said, he's like, dude, I don't want to play for another team. I like the culture in Philly. I like what you guys have going on. And Howie Roseman and Doug Pearson just didn't agree for some reason. Bro, LeGarrette Blount, people don't even know. He had 15 rushing touchdowns in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He had less than 1,000 yards rushing, but he had 15 touchdowns.
That's how you know you need him for those third and 2s.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
That is the, like, borderline as unstoppable as you can get at the goal line. Yeah. Borderline like Marshawn Lynch 2014.
Yeah.
Like, basically at the goal line, like no one's stopping him.
Nobody.
You know what I mean? And he had a decent burst of speed. He even showed it a little bit last year in Detroit. I know he was banged up, but
yeah.
LeGarrette Blount proved that he could still play the game of football, and for some reason we just did not want to give him the ball. And then we get another guy, a younger version of Blount, in Jordan Howard, and dude, I don't know what Howie Roseman is thinking. Dude, I've only praised that man since he's become our GM in terms of how he's been able to rework deals and get players on the cheap and get guys like Alshon Jeffrey when they were like a number 1 like wide receiver in free agency. You know what I mean? But then like over the last couple of years, I mean, like, what significant additions have we made other than Darius Slay this past year? Because I cannot think of another one that truly has been transcendent for us. If anything, we've just been descending since our Super Bowl win.
I think that Howie and even Doug, it comes down to like everybody. Like even the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, it comes down to everyone. I think they want to obviously build a young team. They want a young, healthy team, but I think they always rely too much on, oh, we trust our guys that we have. Next guy up, next man up. Like yeah. But that comes into play when there's injuries and there's things like those guys. Yeah, they're on NFL rosters. They're good players, but they're not gonna carry the team. They're not gonna be able to step up and like take us to another level that we need to be at in order to win football games and be a good football team.
Dude, absolutely not. Yeah, I couldn't agree more because like we're so set on, you know, like exactly like that next man up mentality. Because then you got guys like Crayvon LeBlanc, and you got, and I love him, but you got Avonte Maddox, and you got, you know, I believe we let Rasul Douglas go as well, and as well as Sidney Jones. But like you have like all these young kind of scrappy DBs, you know what I mean, and then that secondary. I mean, letting go Malcolm Jenkins. I mean, what were we thinking? Okay, like. You at least what you do with a guy like that is you franchise tag him and you trade him for something.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand you want to walk away from Malcolm Jenkins. I get it. You know what I mean? He's got it like at the twilight of his career. You know what I mean? He started out in New Orleans. He was fantastic. We bring him over to Philly in 2014. He's been phenomenal for us. You know what I mean? Malcolm Jenkins has become kind of like, you know, not a substitute for Brian Dawkins, but kind of like that guy that everyone looks to on that defense.
Little offspring from Brian Dawkins.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like that captain that everyone looks to for direction. And that's what he was to us, and that's what we needed.
Yep.
And I think he was a big part of that Super Bowl win, I think, as every other Philadelphia Eagle fan thinks as well. But when you think about it that way, and you basically just tell him that you're parting ways, you can do it the right way. You can do it to help the franchise. You can franchise tag him and trade him away.
Yeah.
And get a pick, a player to help, you know what I mean? Like anything. Like clearly, Seattle Seahawks safety Bradley McDougald was on the trade block. We could have traded for him, but you know, instead he goes to New York Jets and he'll die there, but it's fine. But he could have thrived in Philadelphia, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And even a guy like McLeod, like I like McLeod a lot, but I don't think that he was that vocal leader that Malcolm Jenkins was.
No, he's not. He's more of a scrappy kind of guy that's gonna make big hits and you know, get a couple of interceptions once in a while. But the thing about Malcolm Jenkins leaving, like he didn't want to leave necessarily.
I know.
Even after he got signed to the Saints again, like I was looking on his Instagram, he was posting stuff that was like missing Philly and like
very Philly.
And I even saw a lot of Saints, like former Saints players and current Saints players, like commenting on his pictures, like, bro, get over it, like you're here now. Like I saw some of that, I was like, dang, like he really, really did not want to leave.
I think there is something about Philly that like a lot of people like they aspire for the culture, like they love like the type of like like bleed green brotherly love type situation that we have. Because, like you do see it in the locker room. These guys really do love each other and they do want to play.
They
together.
do, right?
And they do want to win. But I think ESPN put out a stat yesterday. Blew my mind. I mean, it made me rethink everything I thought about our 0-2 start.
Oh, God.
You listen to this. Carson Wentz. He's thrown more interceptions through 2 games than any quarterback in the NFL.
Right.
Carson Wentz has been sacked more than any quarterback in the NFL. Carson Wentz has thrown more off-target passes than anyone else in the NFL. 15 of those passes came from a clean pocket. Everyone wants to talk about the offensive line injuries. I was one. I've been preaching for this man. Carson Wentz is someone who I will defend to the day I die, just because sometimes it's not about stats. It's just what do the eyes tell you? And I see incredible arm talent, Mahomes-esque throws that no one else can make.
Yeah.
But when you see a stat like that, it makes you think like 15 off-target throws from a clean pocket. Pro Football Focus rates our offensive line as a top 5 offensive line in 2020. Not 2019, not 2020. Right now, we are better than 27 other football franchises at protecting the quarterback. And Carson Wentz is missing throws. And he's calling audibles at the line of scrimmage. And the departure of Frank Reich, I mean, just an unbelievable loss. And what you were saying, go back to what you were saying about the RPOs and how defenses have picked back up on that.
Yeah. I mean, like I was saying, like I think Frank Reich offensively was ahead of the curve in 2017, 3 years ago, the year we won the Super Bowl. We were 13-3 that year. Our offense was looking amazing. The RPO wasn't like a normal thing as it is now. Defenses were kind of like, oh, what the heck is going on? That's why we were able to use that to our advantage. Now, like, defenses have picked up on it, and we're not as ahead of the curve because of the loss of Frank Reich.
100%. So, we're going to get into our NFL predictions at the end of this show, but we are going – this is an interesting topic. I really like this. What teams do you think are worthy of their 2-0 record? So, who are the true contenders in the NFL, and who are the pretenders? So, right now, teams in the NFL who are 2-0 are as follows. Titans, Ravens, Steelers, Bills, Chiefs, Raiders, Packers, Bears, Seahawks, Rams, and the Cardinals. So, I'm going to name a team, and you and I are just going to go back and forth.
Okay.
And, so, Baltimore Ravens. In my opinion, hands down the best roster in football. I think Lamar Jackson is only going to get better with time, and I think Lamar Jackson is just... I know this is a hot take, but even though he just won the MVP, I think he is still criminally underrated as a passer.
Yeah. He
is dead accurate with his passes, and there's no one who I think is more deserving of their 2-0 start. What do you think?
No, yeah, I definitely agree with you that if all the NFL teams started 2-0, I'd look at the Ravens and be like, look, they're probably legit. You saw what they did last season. They have Lamar. I do agree with you that the Ravens are like 100% guaranteed confidence 2-0 start. Like there's nothing, like they'll keep going from here.
Packers. I'll let you go. How you feel about them?
Packers look great. Aaron Jones. Who knew that he could be this, like, coming into this season?
Free Aaron Jones, as my man Matthew Berry says.
Seriously. I know that they are a little banged up. Devonta Adams is questionable still.
I believe as of this moment right now, he is not playing.
Yeah, I think they said he's a game-time decision, but I think you're right, he's not playing right now, so I think that'll definitely be a loss for them. But it's Aaron Rodgers. He'll make it work. He's older now, whatever, but he's still Aaron Rodgers, like.
See, the disrespect with Aaron Rodgers is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You take your quarterback to the future in Jordan Love instead of taking a receiver in the most receiver deep draft in NFL history. Some analysts are calling it, but no, Packers they're 100% believable as 2-0. The dynamic duo of Aaron for real. I mean. They look unstoppable offensively, and the best thing that they got going for them today is the fact that Michael Thomas is also out.
Yeah.
So both of the big top 5 you could argue top 5 wide receivers in football are out there.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that that's a big deal. I'm going to go ahead with the Seahawks here. 100%. They are not pretenders. They are true contenders. Russell Wilson threw 2 games, 9 touchdowns in total. I mean, he's looking unstoppable. I think Russell Wilson, dude,
MVP this year.
100%. Russell Wilson's a top 2 quarterback in football. I don't think Lamar Jackson comes close to that conversation. I love Lamar. Like, I was just raving about him, but it goes Mahomes and Russ 1 and 2. And Russ is just playing some of the best football of his career, and he's technically entering his physical prime right now, I believe at age 29. So there's no stopping the Seahawks right now.
No, not at all. I couldn't agree more.
What about the Buffalo Bills?
Dude.
I love the Bills. What do you got on the Bills?
Dude, honestly, the Bills, they're like this every year. Josh Allen, he's different. He's good.
He is.
He's really good.
He is.
And I actually took him in. I took him as my starter in one fantasy league. I didn't draft him till like maybe the 8th round.
Pretty incredible how long he.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna trust him. And so far, he's been putting up big numbers every week. 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions throughout the first 2 weeks.
And for a guy, and a lot of people, the thing that they don't like about Josh Allen, they say he has accuracy issues. Well, clearly not. I mean, above 60% completion percentage, no interceptions through 2 games. They're 2-0. Josh Allen is trucking over linebackers. I mean, you don't see this from your quarterback. He looks like if like Big Ben came into the league, like a little more like cut up and like toned. Like that's what Big Ben would have been. Like I see a lot of similarities. And don't forget, Josh Allen has an absolute cannon. Threw the ball 75 yards in practice. I saw on a video. Stupid.
That's insane.
Bro, yeah. But, like... Alright, but what else? Who else we got?
I think the Cardinals are...
I love the Cardinals.
I love Kyler Murray. I was watching the 2019 draft, and I saw him get drafted by the Cardinals. And I knew of him, but I didn't know too much about him. Last season, I was like, okay, this guy looks like he can be legit. He was young, he made mistakes, interceptions, bad decisions, but that doesn't take away from his talent and his ability. He's young, he has to learn still. We can't make that excuse for Carson anymore. But with Kyler we can. They're 2-0. I think they have a good chance of winning their division. I think it's gonna be between them and the Seahawks. I think.
Okay, all right.
That's a bold prediction. Bold prediction.
Okay. Arizona looks phenomenal. Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray are a match made in heaven. You have the best receiver in football, arguably, in DeAndre Hopkins. You have Larry Fitzgerald to mentor both of them.
Yeah.
You got Kenyon Drake back there. You don't like Kenyon Drake? You got Chase Edmonds back there. You got Christian Kirk in the slot. You got Andy Isabella still doing his thing, you know what I mean? And Kyler Murray, he's a game changer. He's a baller. He's electric. The only way to describe Kyler Murray's play is you have to watch him. You have to watch the way this dude moves effortlessly, juking out linebackers in the open field. They can't touch him. And people said when he was coming into the league, 5 feet 9 inches. He's too small to play the position. He should have played baseball. He got drafted he's the first person, I believe, in the history of professional sports to get drafted in the first round in Major League Baseball and the NFL. Eligible for the same draft. I mean, first of all, you're an athletic freak.
That's insane.
And not only that, though, I think Kyler definitely made the right decision. I mean, his accuracy, I think, is honestly like top 5. I mean, he has a beautiful tight spiral on the ball. But in terms of the division, you lost me there. I think Seattle is actually going to single-handedly run this division. But you cannot forget about the LA Rams. I mean, dude, this is the best division. All right, first of all, let's just get one thing straight. This is the best division in football.
Yeah, no,
you want an entertaining game. You watch the NFC West. Every single team looks phenomenal.
And it wasn't that way a couple years ago.
Absolutely not. And that's what I love about this league is just it's constantly every team's developing and trying to and rebuilding and trying to get better. You know what I mean? Like Arizona was kind of an afterthought after, I'm going a little bit back, but after Carson Palmer left, they were a bit of an afterthought. You know what I mean? And they finally find their quarterback in Kyler Murray. Everyone thought it was Josh Rosen. He put up an absolute garbage fire of a rookie season. And then Cliff Kingsbury, the year before they draft him, say Josh Rosen is our guy moving forward, and then they take Kyler number 1 and then trade him to the Dolphins. So I don't think the Cardinals are pretenders at all, and I think that they definitely are well deserving of their 2-0. But let's talk about, how about the Steelers? What do you got on the Steelers? What do you think?
Honestly, they're one team that I will say I don't know. I don't know. Their defense has come together. They have a good offense. They have weapons, but I don't know. Like I really don't. I literally that I don't know about the Steelers.
I say they're pretenders. And dude, no disrespect to the Hall of Famer that is Big Ben.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Juju, who had a pretty rough sophomore slump, but he's looking like, he's coming back.
He'll be all right.
Of his own. James Conner, when he's on the field, he's phenomenal. He's super consistent, sturdy back. You don't like James Conner?
I like James Conner. I don't think he's. I think he's a guy that'll be here for like a couple years.
Okay.
I think he'll be out of the league in a couple years. Because yes, he's good, but I think he's one of those guys that after the Steelers are done with him in a couple years, I think that he'll go to a team and die there. That's what I think.
Okay.
I like him. I think he's a good player, but it's like a Jordan Howard situation.
It's a respectful take. It's a respectful take for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But in terms of the Steelers right now, their pass rush looks suspect. I love T.J. Watt though. Love Minka. Love Minka Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God he got out of Miami for real.
Yeah.
Joe Hayden is someone I remember. Joe Hayden, I feel, has been in the league from the moment I was born.
He's one of those guys that
is
is
a Pro Bowler
always
on the Browns.
there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Joe Hayden has just been so consistent forever.
Yep.
And the fact he's on a division rival is hilarious to me. But I do think the Steelers are pretenders, though.
I do too.
Chiefs. This is an easy one for me. They have Patrick Mahomes. They have Tyreek Hill. They have Travis Kelce. They have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who, you know what I mean? Like, who thought how good he was going to be? Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, DeMarcus Robinson. They're just so deep offensively that how are they not the favorites to get back to the Super Bowl out of the AFC?
It's pretty the odds of them returning to the Super Bowl twice in 2 years in a row. Patriots have done it very multiple times, but like I don't know. I think
the odds are not in their favor.
They're not, but it's Patrick Mahomes, Big Red,
Andy Reid, offensive-minded coach, couldn't get it done in Philly, is getting it done, has an MVP quarterback. I mean,
let's take Andy Reid with Donovan McNabb in Philly or Andy Reid in Kansas City with Mahomes. I think I'm going to go with Mahomes.
Well, okay, I think also one is just so much more talented physically than the other, so it's not even a question.
It's not.
All right, the Chicago Bears. I can't believe that they're 2-0 through 2 weeks. What do you think about them?
They barely beat the Giants last week.
That's right.
So that's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. They barely beat the Giants last week.
And that's
without Saquon. Just keep that in mind. For half the game.
Yeah. Incredible analysis from Josh Sloan. They barely beat the Giants. You can't say more than that. No. The Rams, though, however, the only reason I think the NFC West will make the playoffs this year is because there's a very big possibility that the NFC East, only one team makes the playoffs, and that'll be the divisional champ because the NFC East,
100%.
the NFC least, are the worst division in football.
100%.
So, no, but I absolutely love the Rams. I love their 3 running back stuff that they got going on with Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson, and Cam Akers. I like him a lot. So, and I believe there's one team I miss, and I want to say that is, yes, the Oakland Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, I apologize. That's 21 years of calling them the Oakland Raiders. So.
That is true.
But, okay, the Las Vegas, that will take a while. Las Vegas Raiders, pretenders or contenders?
They looked good last week when they beat the Saints on Monday night.
Michael Thomas.
But, one player, Michael Thomas, he's huge, and he is a win or loss guy that can decide the game for the team, but the Saints are a good team.
They're well constructed.
The Raiders, it was high score. The Raiders put up 35 points on their defense. The Saints doesn't have the best defense, but they
not the worst either. It's like average, 15th, 14th ranked defense.
Put up 35 points in the NFL, you'll win most games. So, what happened week 1 with them? I forget what happened with them. I forget, I don't know.
Genuinely, I'm not gonna pretend like I know. But I know that they won. So, was it a divisional opponent?
I'm trying to pull it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, they had Josh Jacobs.
Dude, love Josh Jacobs.
He's a beast.
He is an absolute monster of a human being. And it's funny.
They beat the Panthers.
Yes, they
34-30.
Yeah. So they're averaging 34.5 points a game. They
actually put up 34 against the Saints. I made a mistake. I said 35. But so they put 34 twice in a row.
34 points a game. This offense looks unstoppable somehow. Yeah, I mean, I love who they got though. You got Hunter Renfrow. You got Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
You got Darren Waller.
Dude, what, 13 receptions the other night? Oh my god.
Unguardable. Can't put a safety on him. They're too small. Can't put a corner on him. Too small. Can't put a linebacker on him.
Too fast.
Slow.
Yeah, he's too fast for him.
Exactly. So. Dude,
they play the Patriots today. So that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be a very well-coached Bill Belichick game. So,
it's going to be fun to watch.
Whose early success this year is more surprising? Josh Allen or Kyler Murray?
More surprising?
More surprising.
I would say Josh Allen. Because, like I said earlier, Kyler Murray, I saw what he had last year, and I knew that he was going to improve this year. Josh Allen, though, he's always been a freaking beast. But this year, yo, I don't know something about this year. Maybe he got something over quarantine where he was like, you know what, I'm going for it this year. I don't know what it is, but he looks different. He looks like a different guy. I don't know, you know. He's. I think Josh Allen might.
I think it's Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Why?
I know this is gonna sound crazy, but a free agency acquisition like DeAndre Hopkins, it shocked me. It was a trade, but just the fact that even happened, that shocked me a lot, because I didn't realize how stupid Bill O'Brien was until that trade. I mean, I knew he was dumb. He's trying to be the head coach and the GM at the same time as the Texans, and it's clearly not working out. I mean, David Johnson, though, again, in his own right, I always loved David Johnson. Always a David Johnson believer. Looked great week 1. Yeah. You know, he had a solid week 2 performance, I believe, as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the connection that DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray have spawned over this quarantine, I mean, you have to think about it. There was, no OTAs. There was mini camp, I believe, for 2 weeks. Practice was limited. Even being in the facilities were limited. Week 1 and week 2 have basically been the NFL's preseason in terms of people trying to connect and find out who they are and what their identity as a team is. So that's why I believe Kyler Murray is so much more shocking to me, because now you make the same argument about Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, but I think it's so surprising with Kyler Murray because the connection that they have made between him and DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, what do you have? 15 targets week 1, 11 receptions. And he just looked unguardable. I mean, and then Kyler Murray, just how accurately he's throwing the ball, because in his rookie year he did have a lot of accuracy issues, but people could tell that he could really throw a nice tight spiral and stuff, but we just did not know how well that development over this rookie year to his sophomore year, and that's sometimes a lot when you have that explosive rookie season, which I would say he did. He won Rookie of the Year. Most suffer a sophomore slump. But I think Kyler Murray is in spades putting up, possibly, it could be one of his best career years, and it's only his second year. So that's why I believe Kyler Murray, that's why it's more surprising to me than Josh Allen. Josh Allen, I believe, has been in the league longer, a year longer.
Yeah,
right?
1 year longer.
So Josh Allen, and Buffalo Bills have a phenomenal coaching staff. So Sean McDermott, he was supposed to be the Eagles head coach. If it wasn't Doug Peterson, still grinds my gears. It's okay though.
I think one thing to watch today. Josh Allen has faced the Dolphins and Jets defenses in weeks 1 and 2. Not great. Not great at all. He's been able to pick them apart. He's been able to do his thing. 6 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Today, he's going up against Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, so I think his true grit will be shown today. We'll see what he has. So I guess we have to watch that, But
who is Arizona playing today?
They're playing. I forget, my thing is taking forever to load.
All good.
They are playing Detroit.
Oh, okay.
That's a dub. That's a dub.
Should be a flawless 3-0 start.
Actually, I this is one thing I wanted to mention earlier. The Cardinals matchups the next 3 weeks. Lions, Panthers, Jets. Those can all be wins. They could start out 5-0.
There's an absolute possibility that the Cardinals will be 5-0 to start.
And that's why I say they'll be division contenders, because they're going to start off strong. Like, their schedule gets a little rocky. They play the Cowboys, Seahawks.
Do you see the Cardinals beating Seattle this year?
I think they'll go 1-1.
Only reason I disagree is because Russell Wilson is something special. There's no one in Arizona who can guard DK Metcalf, and there's no one in Arizona. And if you want to mention Pat Pete, DK Metcalf just tore apart Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So, and then if you want to go to their arguable second string / first string receiver in Tyler Lockett, he's no scrub either. And then Arizona pass rush, almost non-existent. I mean, you take Isaiah Simmons, your hybrid linebacker, safety, corner, down linebacker, you know what I mean, in a 3-4 set. But
they're going to have to put up points this season.
Yes, exactly.
If they're going to win games against the Seahawks, Rams, even the Eagles, like they're going to have to put up 30-plus points.
That's how I feel about Oakland as well. Oakland's defense, super suspect. And the fact that they didn't have to take on Michael Thomas was a huge advantage for them on Monday night. And the Oakland Raiders are going to have to put up points too. And I feel the same way about Arizona as well.
Looking at the Cardinals' second half of the season, their schedule, Seahawks, Patriots, Rams, Eagles, 49ers, Rams. I think
that is a very rough stretch of games. And
I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, but it's definitely going to be rough.
But I do believe that they will finish as... Depending on how... Dude, I mean, you can't forget about the 49ers. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is down right now. Jimmy Garoppolo...
They are sussed right now. They are so sussed right now.
Without him. Exactly. You got Nick Mullins starting right now at quarterback. Never a situation you want to be in.
No.
So, injuries have been plaguing the NFL.
Yes.
I mean, 2020, what more could go wrong, honestly? You know what I mean? In terms of a global pandemic, the fact that, I can't even touch you from over here, the fact that, social distancing and mask requirements and all these things going on that are kind of, ruining the daily life of a lot of Americans. But, again, they're necessary requirements for sure, and, I fully stand with that. But what do you think is the main cause of all of these injuries in the NFL?
I hate to say it, but honestly, without the OTAs and preseasons, like, these guys aren't hitting, really. Like, and they're football players. They're supposed to hit, yeah. But, like, they're humans. They're going to get hurt if if their bodies aren't used to it. Their bodies are not used to it right now. So
7 torn ACLs in 2 weeks. 7.
Yeah.
You said it best. Didn't mean to cut you off, but for real.
No.
And people like, for example, there have been NFL veterans. I know one was Delaney Walker. There was another one, Aaron Rodgers, big one, who they're saying, preseason doesn't matter. We don't need it. But people don't realize how much they needed preseason and OTAs and minicamp and just overall practice and hitting people. People didn't realize how big of a role did that play. You at practice, most people, they play without pads, and if they do play with pads, it's just shoulder pads, and it's just down, by contact, like two-hand touch, like they're not even tackling. So week 1 was, for real, a lot of these NFL players this season, their first experience in getting hit in 6 months, and that is going to ruin the human body. I don't care how super strong, superhuman, and
look at Saquon. He's the freaking biggest
Saquon
beast
Barkley,
on the field in the NFL.
His calves are bigger than my 2 legs combined. You know what I mean? And he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, arguably the best running back in football, just went down with a high ankle tear. And then who? Oh my God, Cortland Sutton just tore his ACL. Nick Bosa tore his ACL.
It's crazy.
Who else? Solomon Thomas just tore his ACL.
There was one other guy.
I can't think.
I can't think of it either.
I know there was I believe 6 or 7 torn ACLs through 2 weeks. That's the most in NFL history, by the way. A stat like that being recorded. But dude, I'm telling you,
there'll be more today too.
There will be, and that's the saddest part, and it probably will be in Philadelphia, honestly, sadly.
Uh-oh.
We'll see.
Oh, no.
Yeah, our medical staff is clearly not the best because we have been suffering with injuries even since that Super Bowl year. Actually from 2016 to 2020, I don't think any team in the NFL has had more injuries than the Philadelphia Eagles.
I agree.
It's
I think that's just a fact.
All right, Josh, we got another topic here. Key games to watch today. You highlighted Bears-Falcons.
So, the Falcons are looking to recover this week after that terrible, terrible special teams play against the Cowboys last week.
You got 5 Falcons just
Kicker,
staring at this ball.
Okay,
I mean,
whatever his Youngku or whatever his name is, he's a freaking beast.
He's a different animal.
Dude, that was a perfect kick.
No one's ever seen that before.
That was a perfect kick that the
rotational
that the Cowboys made. And dude, who was it that just stared at the ball?
Julio.
Well, no. Julio was in the back.
Well,
Julio could have hopped on it, but it was the one. Forget it. It was just some special teams hands team guy.
Dude, I don't even know. Maybe Robert Alford.
It was a terrible. It was a terrible play. It was a terrible play. And the Falcons will be looking to get that one back this week, so I think the Bears are kind of gonna get exposed this week. I think.
You think the Bears will be exposed?
Yeah.
That I agree with you. Final score on that? What do you think?
I have it 27-20.
Okay.
Falcons.
So decently high scoring for Chicago. I mean, put up 20 points. I mean, you're asking a lot there.
Yeah.
All right, so you have Rams and Bills here. I love this matchup for Josh Allen. Oh my God, I think this matchup is gonna really prove to the rest of the NFL that if you're Josh Allen, I'm here. I'm here to stay.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
This is what I'm about to do. This is who I am. And I do see the Rams winning this one, but I see it pretty high scoring. I'm thinking maybe 35-28.
Yeah.
Because Rams have a lot of firepower on offense. Love Cooper Kupp, love Robert Woods. I think Jared Goff in a hurry could get at least 3 passing touchdowns. I mean, as long as he follows what Sean McVay says, because McVay is, the genius in that relationship for sure.
Yeah.
And, but
he's the puppet master.
100%, exactly. And I think McVay has proved that, especially over last week against the Eagles. I mean, I believe there was a point in the game where Jared Goff was 13 for 13. 13 for 13, 150-plus yards.
And that was his career best, his career record for him.
Yeah.
So.
But that's when you match the play action with the run game, and that's how much success you have. But I do have the Rams beating the Bills here. What do you think about Rams-Bills?
I think it'll be 23-20 Rams. I think it'll come down to like a game-winning field goal. I think that the Rams will not necessarily struggle to score this week, but they're not going to put up 37 again like they did against the Eagles last week. I mean,
I agree.
Will it be a little more high scoring than 23-20 maybe, but I don't know. I think this is one of the best matchups of the day.
100%, yeah, dude. And honestly, I'm loving Packers Saints Sunday.
Yeah,
night.
me too.
I mean, can it be any better? I mean, the two things that suck for sure is no Devontae Adams, no Michael Thomas. You know what I mean? But I do love this matchup. I love Rodgers versus Breeze. I mean, it's kind of one of those matchups that you always want to just, two Hall of Fame, put a gold jacket on them right now, quarterbacks. Watching them go head to head. What are you thinking about Packers Saints Sunday night?
I'm excited to watch this, man. Like this is gonna be a good game. Two of the NFC's top three or four teams.
You can argue for sure.
I think it'll be a great game. Again, if Devontae Adams doesn't play, then both teams will be. It'll be more even if Devontae Adams doesn't play. To be honest, we'll see what we know what Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers can do, but they'll have to find. Drew Brees will have to find guys like Traquan Smith and Jared Cook will have to use more. Just things like that. And Allen Lazard, I think, for a fantasy sleeper this week.
Dude, love Allen Lazard this week. I actually have him starting in one of my 10-man leagues this week. I had a key injury in Portland Sun. So Allen Lazard is actually getting the play this week. So
there you go. That's a good play.
I'm super excited about that.
It's a good play.
But who do you have winning this one?
I think it's gonna be a high-scoring game. You got Drew Brees and Aaron Rodgers, primetime football. Even without the star wide receivers, it's gonna be a shootout. I think Packers win it 38-30. I think Saints will come down the final drive of the game. It'll be some crazy last play of the game. Drew Brees will be trying to find the end zone. I think the Packers defense will hold it.
38-30.
Yeah.
I do have Green Bay winning this one, and for one man and one man only, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, I think, is about, and I love Kamara. I think he's criminally underrated as well. But, Aaron Jones, I think he is actually going to be the star of tonight, for sure. I think we'll have 100-plus yards, two touchdowns, maybe 3. I think Aaron Jones is going to run all over them. Matt LaFleur is going to give them a heavy dose of the run, and I think that it's going to be the Aaron Jones show tonight. But, of course, the story is going to be Rodgers versus Brees, of course. But, all right, we got one more, I believe. No, we have 2 more. Eagles, Bengals. 2 0-2 teams looking for the first dub. Josh, who do you got?
Yo, if the Eagles lose this week, man,
I'm chalking the season.
I'm tank. Play Jalen Hurts.
Play for a draft pick.
Let's see what Jalen Hurts can do. If the Eagles lose today, I will put my Bengals jersey back on and ride them out for the rest of the season. Go Joe Burrow. One thing, though, that is important. I think the Eagles' D-line tonight has the opportunity to chew up the Bengals' offensive line and get to Joe Burrow. We have to. And we have to see Fletcher Cox this week. He hasn't been here. Where has he been?
Dude, did he play last week?
I don't know. Apparently he's hurt this week.
Apparently
I know. Apparently he's a little hurt, so he's a game time decision. I heard on the radio on the way over here. I was listening, and they were saying that he might not play. But we have Javon Hargrave.
All right, Brandon Graham got 1 sack this last week. Mm-hmm. Where has Brandon Graham been? You take a guy like Brandon Graham in the first round. You need him to be a dominant edge rusher. I believe this is Brandon Graham's 8th season with us. Still relatively young as a pass rusher. I mean, he's kind of getting up to that age, like 29, I believe, maybe 30. Brandon Graham needs to step up. I'm sorry. I need dominant edge presence from Brandon Graham. I need him to ruin those tackles. I need them to move him from the left side to the right side. Don't get me wrong. Fletcher Cox is definitely, the star of that front 7. But if he's not playing, Brandon Graham needs to play like the star that he's shown to be in the past. I mean, he made that incredible play in the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? He's shown that he could show up in big-time moments. 0-2 against the Cincinnati Bengals. I classify this as a big-time moment.
Yeah. This is one of those games historically that the Eagles would lose, though.
Oh.
But they lost to the Washington football team week 1, and maybe that is their supposed to be win but actually lose. Because, look, the next 3 of the 4 games are actually after the Bengals. We go to San Francisco, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. Those are potential 0-3 stretch right there.
Dude, I know.
So
it is depressing.
So we need it doesn't matter. This is week 3. It's a must win. Look at our schedule coming up.
Bro, you don't have to tell me twice, man. I mean, Philadelphia Eagles. I was talking to all my friends and my work friends and people like that all off season, talking so much about how this Philadelphia Eagles roster can stay healthy. I mean, I didn't think that there was anyone that could compete with us in the NFC other than the San Francisco 49ers. Honestly, I love Russell Wilson, but I didn't see this type of performance, or expect it, He's just been incredible. But, we have a solid stretch, I think, of wins, though. I believe that's week 7 on. We got Giants, Cowboys, Giants, back to back.
I love playing the Giants real close together because those are 2 wins. The Giants don't matter.
Giants, Cowboys, Giants. I think that we can at least go 2-1 in that stretch. With the loss beating the Cowboys, but I can see us beating the Giants back to back without Saquon Barkley. I mean, are you depending on Daniel Jones? At that point, no. But then you have a really rough stretch.
Look at weeks 12 through 15, man.
Packers,
oh my gosh.
Saints, Cardinals, Cowboys.
Look at that.
That could be 0-5. That straight up could be 0-5. I could see Kyler Murray just lasering us all
I think if we go, well, here's the thing. We've been better towards the end of the season.
That's true, yeah.
But think about it. We played the Redskins, the Giants. We've played not great teams over the past couple years, and we've been able to, what were we? 4-6 at one point 2 years ago. We were around there like last year. I think we were that last year or something like that. Yeah. And we came back and we were 9-7 2 years in a row. Coming down the stretch, we like won the last 4 or 5 games. But this season, we can't depend on that. We need this win today. We need to be going into that stretch. We need to be above 500.
100%. I cannot agree more. There's one game that's not listed, but dude, I don't know how we can't talk about this game. Chiefs, Ravens.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah.
Dude, this could be one of those games to where, do you remember, I believe this is 2 years ago at this point, Mahomes' MVP year. Chiefs, Rams on Monday night. Do you remember that game?
Remind me.
Dude, I think it was, bro.
Was it the game where Goff threw for like a billion touchdowns?
They call it the greatest Monday Night Football game ever played. Final score, I believe, was 53-50. It was just one of the greatest. It's my favorite regular season game in my life as a football fan. Like, it was just so unbelievable. I think that this has potential to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
Because don't get me wrong, Todd Gurley legitimately was an MVP candidate that year.
Yeah.
But you got Lamar Jackson. Action Jackson can take off, cut on a dime. You got Mark Ingram still. You got J.K. Dobbins. You got Hollywood Brown. And then on the other side, Tyreek Hill, a burner. Travis Kelce, a stud. Mecole Hardman, a burner. Both teams, I think, could easily put
up 50
plus points.
Fletcher Cox is active today. Sorry to interrupt, but that was important.
Nah. That's a very crucial update. Thank you so much for that, Josh. Yes, Fletcher Cox is active today. Thank God. Okay. I think that this game has potential to be one of the greatest games, again, that I've ever seen. But I do have the Chiefs edging out the Ravens, even though I think the Ravens overall have a better roster. In a salary cap league, I mean, they're as close to a perfect roster as you can get. There's 0 holes across the offensive line, 2 solid running backs. You have solid receivers. Mark Andrews, haven't even mentioned him. Love him. You got Marlon Humphrey on the back end. You got, they just took, I believe, Patrick Queen in this draft. Love him. He's what do you got? Chiefs, Ravens. Who do you think's going to win?
I am going to. It could go either way. It just depends on which offense is more explosive, who has the least amount of turnovers. I don't think there will be a lot of turnovers, but there could be 1 or 2 that could be key. I think every drive that the Chiefs have, they will score. I think every drive that the Ravens have, they will score. Maybe 1 or 2 punts throughout the game. It all depends on which offense can stay on the field the longest and keep their defense off the field, because neither of those defenses are reliable, especially against these 2 offenses. So.
Bro, I just don't, dude. A lot of people are making arguments that the Ravens could go 16-0 this year because they are cohesively. They've kept the most players from last season. They've only added just incredible talent and depth, and they have one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. So if there was potential for anyone to go 16-0, I think it might be Baltimore. But I think this is going to be the game that they lose, though. And I think that the Ravens, I boldly predict, will be 15-1 this year with their 1 loss coming to the Chiefs.
Look at this schedule, man. Wow.
I told you.
The best team they're going to play it's Colts Patriots back-to-back weeks 9 and 10. That's the most difficulty they're going to have. They got the Browns, the Jags, the Bengals twice. Oh my God, I wish I had the Bengals twice. But,
Bro, I'm telling you, the Ravens could go 15-1 this year. A lot of people speculated they could go 16-0, but I just don't know how they beat Patrick Mahomes.
I don't know. We'll have to watch, because that's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be a really good game.
All right. I think this segment is over. All right, Josh, thank you so much for being on the show,
man,
bro.
It was fun, man. It was
so much fun, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely expect Josh to be on future episodes for sure, because this was a blast. And for real, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask, social distance. We got to go on.
Social
distancing, come on. You already know I got the setup. Go Birds today. Please don't lose.
Go Birds. Come on.
All right, boys. Adios.